Roll King employee vs. Salted Fish Company. Jian Xiao died in a car accident and traveled through time, becoming a mobile blood bank for the female lead's blood transfusion in the group's favorite text. The ultimate outcome is excessive bleeding, physical collapse, and death. In order to survive, Jian Xiao decided to hide his strength and rise on a curved path, and sought admission to an unknown small brokerage firm. The company environment is both old and young, with employees holding multiple positions, which is simply poor and frustrated in bold and capital letters. Jian Xiao. You still have to rely on me. Bind the card drawing system, hold the sky-defying cheat, slap the face of scumbag father and stepmother, trample on scumbag men and women. She made it to the top of the variety show, and her quirky skills turned the tables against the wind. When she accidentally became famous worldwide, she just realized that everyone in the company actually has a lot of connections. A disabled boss who sits in a wheelchair and is not good at walking, he is the heir of the group known as the uncrowned king of the business world in China. A beautiful sister with a seductive appearance and a hot figure, he is a renowned yet mysterious fashion designer in the fashion industry. A gentle and approachable front desk lady dressed simply, she is a wealthy and prestigious lady who sits in a luxurious mansion in half the city. Jian Xiao, who works hard to make money in order to support the company and strives to become the king of internal competition. Novel keywords. Hot search explosion. After the live variety show, she flipped through the entertainment industry without pop-ups and became a hot topic. After the live variety show, she flipped through the entertainment industry and downloaded the complete TXT collection, which was a hot search. After the live variety show, she flipped through the latest chapters in the entertainment industry to read. Chapter 1. Wearing cannon fodder, one's life is not long to come. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Wearing cannon fodder, one's life is not long to come. Revealing the true behind-the-scenes gold owner of Jian Xiao. Jian Xiao was exposed for interfering in someone else's marriage. Mistress damn it. Exposed Jian Xiao's experience before entering the circle. Previously worked as a senior member of a certain club. Insider. The truth about Jian Xiao's promotion is that she is good in bed. At 11 o'clock in the middle of the night, Jian Xiao was dragging her suitcase and walking on a deserted road in the suburbs. She looked at her phone expressionlessly. The screen was covered in black material and insults about her. Do we not investigate the background of the contestants during the audition for Dream Chasing Girl? Do trash like Jian Xiao also let her participate in the competition? The entertainment industry has become polluted and unlucky because of Jian Xiao. Jian Xiao is not good at singing and dancing. Without talent, why did she make it to the top 10? Is she shameless? Jian Xiao, go die, die, die. I really feel regretful for the little sister who was eliminated before, to lose to such a loser as Jian Xiao. Boycott Jian Xiao. With her around, I won't watch Dream Chasing Girl anymore. TSK, as expected, no matter where it is, cyberbullying is so terrifying. Jian Xiao sneered, put away her phone, let out a deep sigh, looked up at the dark night, and felt worried about her future. That's right, she's wearing a book. Half a month ago, Jian Xiao was still a popular acting actress with unlimited charm. She was filming on the set, and the actress in the same group gave her a novel titled Sweet Wedding Love. The group pet lady lies and wins. This book is about the story of Yi Shiner, the beloved female lead of the group, who, after being infinitely favored by various big shots and tricks, reaches the pinnacle of her life and gains a happy love story. There is a cannon fodder female supporting character in the book, who shares the same name and surname as Jian Xiao, also known as the original owner. The original owner is tragic and died early in the book. Because Yi Shiner suffers from aplastic anemia, she needs regular blood transfusions. So the original owner, who met all the conditions perfectly, was targeted by the backers behind Yi Shiner and became Yi Shiner's mobile blood bank. The ultimate outcome is excessive blood loss, lack of nutrition, extreme emaciation, and physical collapse and death. Jian Xiao spent half a month reading this book, and after that, she died in a car accident where paparazzi and illegitimate food were chasing and blocking her. With a dead end, crossed the scene. And the timing of wearing books is very unfortunate. As soon as she opened her eyes, it happened to be when Yishiner's supporters, in order to force the original owner to withdraw from the circle, fabricated false black materials and attempted to suppress the original owner to the dust. The original owner was hacked by the entire internet, and was treated as an abandoned child by the program team of Dream Chasing Girl and kicked out. According to the plot, soon after, he will be caught as a mobile blood bank. Jian Xiao wants to cry without tears. Wearing books becomes cannon fodder, and one's life is not long. The enemy has a good reputation, what should we do? Without waiting for her to come up with a solution, a thunderbolt fell from the sky and pouring rain poured down, instantly turning her into a drowned rat. Jian Xiao. Shit. There is no one in the surrounding wilderness, not even a place to take shelter from the rain. Why is she so unlucky? ZZ. ZZ. Link successful. Dear host, hello. The Red Beauty card drawing system is dedicated to serving you. An inexplicable mechanical sound echoed in Jian Xiao's mind, and she immediately became alert. She looked around to see if someone was playing a prank. Are you still sighing because of your bad luck? Are you still worried about the tragic fate you are about to face? Do you still feel hopeless about the future because the enemy is too strong and you are too weak? With a card drawing system, master the ultimate cheat and help you complete the cannon fodder's life counterattack. Jian Xiao. It must be because the rain was too heavy, which confused her mind and caused her to hallucinate. She actually heard a guy claiming to be a system, brainwashing and promoting in her mind. System. It's not an illusion, it's just that this system is talking to you. Host Jian Xiao, the internet popularity has reached the standard and has been awarded the title of newcomer. Title reward. 1 card draw opportunity, please draw. The next second, a huge turntable appeared in front of Jian Xiao. She rubbed her eyes and looked at the words, "Click to draw card" written on it, feeling a bit confused for a moment. It's not an illusion, is it true? Is it possible that the heavens saw that she was too unlucky and sent her the golden finger for wearing books? She tentatively clicked on the draw button, and the large turntable began to spin rapidly, as if trying to suck her whole body in. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Some things are different. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Some things are different in the suburbs of the imperial capital, Yusong Mountain. Located halfway up the mountain, this exquisite estate boasts beautiful scenery, lush greenery, and a breathtaking view step by step. In the study, a young man in a wheelchair was looking down at the documents in his hand, occasionally furrowing his brows and feeling lost in thought. He is the heir of the Lu Group, Lu Qiyu. Qiyu, why aren't you resting so late? A well-dressed beautiful woman pushed the door in and said, although the company's affairs are important, your health is more important. Lu Qiyu raised her head and rubbed the center of her eyebrows. Mom, there are still a few reports. I'll go to bed after reading them. Upon hearing these words, the beautiful woman Qianqing's almond eyes widened and she thrust into her waist, saying, No way. Go to bed now. Your father handed over the company to you to give you a hope not to indulge in car accidents, rather than letting you overdraw your body to work for the company. Okay, I'll listen to you. Lu Qiyu smiled helplessly and obediently put down the document. Also, your father will come back from abroad tomorrow and said he brought back the most authoritative expert from the United States. This time, he will definitely cure your leg. Qianqing said again, I will accompany you to the hospital tomorrow. Let my parents worry, Lu Qiyu nodded. Qianqing was finally satisfied. She turned around and walked out, closing the door with ease. Inside the door, Lu Qiyu suppressed his smile and his gaze sank. Only he knew in his own heart that there was no possibility of any cure for his leg. The reason why he followed Qianqing was only to reassure his parents, because he was reborn from a previous life. In his previous life, a car accident caused him to fall from grace to the clouds. He is a promising business elite, the heir to the largest domestic conglomerate, and has become a lame and incompetent person. At first, he also refused to accept defeat. No matter how much money was spent or how strong his willpower was, he always failed. Later on, he was immersed in the huge changes in life, immersed in the pain of his legs being disabled. Along with his parents also worrying, he searched the world for someone who could treat his legs, whether it was a medical authority or a mystical master, all of whom had tried. Due to poor management of the company, problems arose within the Lu Group. In the end, the massive Lu Group collapsed and was annexed by the 5 major financial conglomerates of Shen, Fu, Luo, Ling, and Su. The father of Fengguang I couldn't bear the blow and died suddenly. A mother who has always been elegant, in order to take care of her lame son, she became a street cleaner and suffered from ridicule and bullying. When he figured it out and wanted to pick himself up, his mother was no longer there when he made a comeback. He lived aimlessly for a lifetime, never wanting to be reborn, and surprisingly returned to when he had just been in a car accident for 6 months. At this moment, the Lu family has not yet had any problems, and their parents have not passed away. Even if his legs can never be cured, everything is still in time. He will not let the Lu family collapse, let alone let his parents go back to the old path of their previous lives. As for those who used to be ruthless towards the Lu family in their past lives, and those who fell into trouble during the downfall of the Lu family, he would not let them go. A fierce expression flashed in Lu Qiyu's eyes. Just as he was about to continue reading the report, a strange mechanical sound suddenly came to his mind, like a Pandora's box, full of temptation. Are you still feeling guilty about your leg disabilities? Are you still worried about the tragic fate you are about to face? Do you still feel hopeless about the future because the enemy is too strong and you are too weak? With a card drawing system, master the ultimate cheat and help you complete the cannon fodder's life counterattack. Dear host, hello. Yinghao card drawing system is dedicated to serving you. Lu Qiyu remained motionless, listening to the mechanical sounds sweeping through his mind. A slight wave appeared on his usually calm and composed face. Since his rebirth, most things have coincided with the trajectory of his past life. Only this system has never existed. ZZ. ZZ. Detected abnormal host soul, data disorder, and unsuccessful binding. Activate standby mode and enable branch tasks. Newcomer Jian Xiao's online popularity has reached the standard and has been awarded the title of Newcomer. Title reward. Lu Qiyu's right little thumb has been restored. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Gender Cognitive Impairment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Gender Cognitive Impairment. Lu Qiyu hasn't had a chance to react yet. A piercing pain emanated from the little finger of his right foot. At the moment his brain received the signal, his once dead heart began to beat, and an unprecedented light burst out in his eyes. It's pain. His feet, which were determined by the doctors to have completely necrotic nerves and unable to respond to external stimuli, began to ache. All of this can be attributed to that eerie mechanical sound. What did it say? At first, I wanted to bind him, but due to his soul abnormality, the binding was unsuccessful, so I opened a side quest. Jian Xiao, Internet Popularity, Rewards. Lu Qiyu took out his phone and, relying on experience and intuition, searched for Jian Xiao's name online. The first thing that jumped out was the news of Jian Xiao's withdrawal from the competition announced by the program team of Dream Chasing Girl, which attracted a lot of cheers and netizens applauded and celebrated. I have to watch every episode of the show, just like the attitude of the production team when I listen to people's advice to have a full meal. Sisters, Jian Xiao has gone away. Let's do the data and hit the pitch. Without Jian Xiao's vase, we can finally watch the powerful ladies and immortals fight. In the microblog lottery, in order to celebrate the bad guy Jian Xiao's going away, follow me and forward, and randomly select 10 sisters to send 200 red envelopes. Look at me, the wealthy lady upstairs. He spent a few minutes understanding the cause and effect of the situation, and at a glance, he could see that all the online reports about Jian Xiao were fabricated false information. And he concluded that there must be a mastermind behind such a large-scale black material. Jian Xiao. Lu Qiyu murmured the name with a tender voice. After a long time, he dialed a phone. Help me search for all the information about Jian Xiao and find her current location. Jian Xiao has been walking in the heavy rain for almost half an hour, dragging her suitcase. She is soaked all over and looks disheveled. The surroundings are terrifyingly dark. She can only chat with the system in her mind to dispel her inner panic. What's the use of cards? The host just drew the character card, Champion Ho Huatsubing. After use, the host can randomly inherit certain abilities of Huatsubing, including but not limited to riding horses and archery, marching and fighting, military strategy, and so on. How many abilities can be inherited depends on the host's luck. Jian Xiao. But you just said, what system are you? Red card drawing system. Are you here to be funny? Champion Ho Huatsubing, is she a beauty? Do you have gender cognitive impairment in your system? Silence is the pouring rain tonight. At this moment, a low-key and luxurious high-end custom nanny car drove over from the front. Jian Zhao's heart was filled with joy as she was about to wave and take a ride when the car suddenly slowed down and finally came to a steady stop next to her. The car door opened and a deep and cold sound came from inside. Miss Jian Xiao, please get in the car. Jian Xiao felt a chill in his heart. Lying trough. I'm here to find her. Did the person who favored the female lead of the group come to arrest her so quickly and use her as a blood bank? Is there enough time to run now? Can Huatsubing's card help her avoid this calamity? Host can give it a try. Champion Ho once had experience marching on rainy nights, but now using cards may help you run faster. Jian Xiao. She hesitated for a second. As soon as I looked up, I saw a hand as pale as jade reaching out to my eyes. Miss Jian, let me introduce myself. My name is Lu Qiyu, the owner of the hand continued. I know Miss Jian is facing difficulties, so I came here specifically to discuss a deal with you. Jian Xiao was stunned and then recalled the plot. The name Lu Qiyu is very unfamiliar and has not appeared in the novels she has read. She is not sure if she is a member of the main character group of Yi Shiner. But the necessary vigilance cannot be lacking. She took a step back and asked. What transaction? I want to sign you as an artist in my company, said Lu Qiyu. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Coming with preparation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Coming with preparation. Jian Zhao's eyes were even more guarded. She doesn't believe in pies falling from the sky, let alone people who stay up late and come all the way in the rain to find her, just to sign her as an artist. Is this a new trick for the support group of the group's favorite female leads? Scam her into being deceived, then imprison her and make her obediently act like a mobile blood bank. No, we have to run. But with her 2 legs, she definitely can't run a 4-wheeled car, she can only rely on the system. So she called out in her mind. I want to use the Huatsubing card. Successfully used the card. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a 70% martial arts bonus from Huatsubing. At this moment, Jian Xiao was possessed like a champion Ho. All skills related to the value of force, such as horseback riding, swordsmanship, martial arts, etc., flooded into her mind like a sudden enlightenment. Jian Xiao dragged her suitcase and turned around to run. Lu Qiyu didn't expect such a result. He was stunned for a moment and ordered the driver. Turn around, chase. He doesn't care about the origin of that eerie mechanical sound, nor does he care about the secrets hidden in Jian Xiao. But in his 2 lifetimes, Jian Xiao was the only hope for his legs to heal. Perhaps Jian Xiao did not fully inherit the ability of Huatsubing, or perhaps she did not have a convenient means of transportation, and ultimately her physical strength was limited. Not long after, he was still caught up by Lu Qiyu. Lu Qiyu instructed the driver to drive slowly beside Jian Xiao. He opened the car window himself, ignoring the rain and talking to Jian Xiao. Miss Jian doesn't need to be so resistant to me. I think we have reasons and opportunities for cooperation, after all, we have common enemies. Joke, I am young and have always been kind to people. I have no enemies, Jian Xiao retorted without hesitation, refusing to be deceived. Lu Qiyu saw Jian Xiao's defense and further threw the bait. Let me put it another way, do you know who wrote your black material online? It's Yi Chongqing and Zhao Shuya. Or rather, it's your biological father and stepmother who, in order to force you to withdraw from the competition, disregarded your reputation, fabricated false rumors, and are bound to completely destroy you. As for why they did this, I think you should have a clear idea. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen strangers, so be so cautious and vigilant. Jian Xiao finally stopped in his tracks. The heavy rain is still falling, and her thin figure appears incredibly desolate in the night. Only those eyes, shining with determination. It seems that Mr. Lu has come prepared. She does know the inside story. Because the novel clearly states that the original owner is treated as a mobile blood bank because she and Yi Shiner are half-parents. The father of the original owner was a scumbag who abandoned his wife and daughter. He fell in love with the daughter of a wealthy family and reached the pinnacle of his life by eating the soft food of his father. In order to maintain his own glory, wealth, and status, he not only ignored his original wife, but also killed his biological daughter. Yi Shiner's life is precious, and the original owner deserves to become a pawn for blood supply. Unexpectedly, these things were exposed in one sentence by the man in front of him, named Lu Qiyu. Yes, I have checked your information, Lu Qiyu admitted generously. It's raining heavily outside. Can Miss Jian get in a car and discuss it in detail now? Speaking at this point, if Jian Xiao tried to avoid it again, it would seem ridiculous. There are only 2 people in the car, 1 driver and 1 disabled. She estimated her current level of strength and felt that even if there were any unforeseen circumstances, she could still make a desperate attempt to break the window and escape, so there was no need to be too afraid. Okay, I'd like to see what you want to talk to me about. Jian Xiao dragged her luggage onto the car. The rain on my body wetted the seats inside the car, but no one cared about it. After careful consideration, Lu Qiyu spoke up. I really want to seek cooperation with Miss Jian. Jian Xiao made a pause gesture and directly said. You know my affairs like the back of your hand, but I know nothing about you. Since you are constantly seeking cooperation, should I see your sincerity? End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Because she has no other choice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Because she has no other choice. Lu Qiyu fell silent for a moment. Rebirth is his greatest secret, and the second greatest secret is the eerie mechanical sound, but these are not enough for outsiders. So he could only pat his unconscious leg and said with a bitter smile. From having healthy limbs to having legs disabled, all you need is a car accident. A shrewd businessman never exposes his cards. So his words are ambiguous. A lie without a word, he was indeed disabled due to a car accident. But he was also intentionally guiding Jian Xiao to think that his car accident was related to the protagonist group of Yi Shiner. Jian Xiao is a bit convinced. In the original novel plot, the members of the protagonist group led by Yi Shiner were all like foolish villains, simply mindless group pets. For the sake of Yi Shiner, anything that destroys the 3 views can be done. It is not surprising to create a car accident and harm others if the innocent original owner can be killed. However, when it comes to cooperation, it is still necessary to clearly price and negotiate terms. So Jian Xiao asked. I assume you're telling the truth, so tell me, what can you give me? Lu Qiyu looked at Jian Xiao with a flash of deep thought in her eyes. According to the information, Jian Xiao came from a rural background and grew up in the countryside with his birth mother since childhood. He dropped out of high school, never attended university, and had little knowledge. It can be seen from her speech and temperament, but it is clearly not so. Faced with such a girl, Lu Qiyu didn't deceive either, so he directly took out the prepared contract and handed it to Jian Xiao. Firstly, you are currently being hacked all over the internet. If you want to continue your career in the entertainment industry, no brokerage company dares to take you, and I not only want you, but also spend resources to promote you. Secondly, I know you are short of money. Take a look at this contract, with a ratio of 9-to-1. You have the majority, and the contract term is 1 year. During the signing period, you have absolute autonomy. Thirdly, and most importantly, I can temporarily provide you with shelter, at least until your wings are full. I won't let those people harm you. Jian Xiao flipped through the contract and wrote it clearly in black and white, just like what Lu Qiyu said. In her past life, she also worked in the entertainment industry, but no matter how generous the agency was, it would not offer such favorable conditions. She almost thought it was for charity. I have to admit, she was tempted. Setting aside the contract, the third point alone is enough to attract her. After all, she is really too weak now, unable to compete with Yi Shiner's female lead aura, the money ability of her scumbag father and stepmother, and the cunning methods of other backers. So, what do you want from me? Jian Xiao had a clear mind and was not overwhelmed by sudden benefits. The appreciation in Lu Qiyu's eyes is even greater. He is willing to befriend such a calm, rational, and well-balanced girl, even if there is no mechanical sound to connect them together. All I want is for you to become popular, said Lu Qiyu bluntly. Is that all? Jian Xiao was confused. I've become popular. It seems like it's more beneficial to me, right? What benefits does it have for you? The redder Jian Xiao gets, the higher the heat, and his legs should be able to recover. But this reason cannot be explained. So Lu Qiyu thought for a moment and said, consider yourself a card that I put on the surface. Yi Shiner is also in the entertainment industry. Your biological father and stepmother forced you to withdraw from the competition. One of the reasons is to make room for her to debut in the draft, isn't it? If you challenge her openly, it will attract more people's attention and give me more opportunities to do other things. However, by doing so, you will face more risks. Upon hearing these words, Jian Xiao thought to herself. The reason sounds very far-fetched, probably half true and half false. But now she has no other choice because she does need an ally. As for the risks she faces, she doesn't care even more. Lu Qiyu has given her so many benefits. If she doesn't have to pay any price, then there will be a problem. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Most reliable brokerage companies. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Most reliable brokerage companies. Lu Qiyu couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when he saw Jian Zhao's relaxed expression. He said to the driver, Uncle Li, go to Huading Street. Amidst Jian Zhao's puzzled gaze, the nanny car sped all the way towards its destination. Along the way, neither Lu Qiyu nor Jian Xiao spoke again. When we arrived at Huading Street, it was already 2 o'clock in the middle of the night, and the surrounding buildings were pitch black, except for the street lamps emitting a faint yellow light in the rain. There is another exception, which is a 4-story small building mixed in with high-rise buildings. The nanny car stopped at the entrance of the small building. Here we are, get off the car, said Lu Qiyu, taking the lead in driving the wheelchair out of the car. Jian Xiao followed closely behind and stood at the entrance of a 4-story small building, with a large luminous sign hanging directly above the door. The white background and black characters clearly read. The most reliable entertainment agency. She looked at the towering buildings around her, then at the 4-story building in front of her, and fell into silence for a moment. What's wrong? Lu Qiyu noticed her mistake and asked. I suspect I've been deceived, Jian Xiao said bluntly. I won't mention whether your company is reliable or not, but the environment is completely different from what I thought. The floor is a bit low, but the advantage lies in the good location. Lu Qiyu said seriously, besides, every employee in the company is carefully selected by me, and of course, they are all the most reliable. Is there anything wrong with them? Jian Xiao. Speechless. The words fell and the door was opened from inside. A middle-aged ant wearing a plain dress walked out from inside. The middle-aged ant looked against the light and couldn't see her face clearly, but her voice was extremely gentle. Come in, everyone has arrived. This is the first time you've called all of us over. There must be something important, even though it's late at night, we dare not delay it. As she spoke, she led everyone into the door. Jian Xiao followed with a suitcase, and as soon as she entered, the door behind her slammed shut. At this moment, she felt like a turtle locked in a jar. Everyone, come and meet me. This is my newly signed artist, named Jian Xiao. Lu Qiyu waved at everyone, she will be one of us from now on. Upon hearing these words, the middle-aged ant's eyes lit up and she smiled. Oh my, our company has everything, but we're short of an artist. Now we've finally arrived. Mr. Lu, is this little girl like us? As the words fell, 2 other women and a man in the room stared at Jian Xiao without hesitation. Jian Xiao looked bewildered and said, is it the same? What's the same? She's different, Lu Qiyu shook her head. However, she's the only variable, and whether everything can change depends on where she can go. After hearing these words, a hint of disappointment flashed on everyone's faces. Jian Xiao once again. What kind of riddle are you playing? Are you discussing how to sell me to the secret code? I don't know if the champion Ho has 70% of his strength, can he escape from here? The middle-aged ant sighed. Okay, everything is arranged by Mr. Lu, it's up to you to make the decision, never missed. First, introduce yourself one by one, and then take her to sign the contract, said Lu Qiyu. She doesn't have a place to live, so settle down here. Lu Qiyu's words dispelled Jian Zhao's idea of running away. It's raining heavily outside. She's penniless, and having a place to live is better than sleeping on the street outside in the rain. Now she has nothing and is not afraid of what they are plotting. The middle-aged ant spoke first, looking at Jian Xiao with a smile on her face and saying. My name is Su Jinghao, and they all call me Aunt Su. You can also call me that. My position in the company is as a front desk receptionist, and I also work part-time in administration, accounting, and legal. If you have any questions in this area, you can come to me directly. Come on, scan WeChat. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Avengers Alliance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Avengers Alliance. Jian Xiao took out the original owner's old phone and asked Aunt Su to add WeChat. Quickly, the second person walked up and scanned the code. She is a young girl under the age of 25. Angel face, devil figure, typical thick-faced beauty, with thick black hair, and a smile that exudes a myriad of charm. My name is Yen Chu, and I am a makeup artist in the company. I also work part-time as a fashion designer, stylist, and beautician, ensuring that you are perfectly refined from head to toe. You have such a beautiful face, you must take good care of it. Jian Xiao. I don't quite understand your company. A good Hong Kong-style beauty, even when a vase has a bunch of people licking her face, is she actually behind the scenes? Next is the third woman. Black straight hair, snow-white dress, floral canvas shoes, exuding a cool and ethereal aura from head to toe, a first love face, resembling the white moonlight in a novel. Hello, I am Fong Siyu, the agent of the company. Of course, I also work part-time as an artist assistant, Weibo operator, and crisis public relations. I will be responsible for your work arrangements in the future. Jian Xiao. I really believe in your evil. Can you really go out and compete with others for resources with this fragile and helpless appearance? I won't feel wronged, will I just whimper? Finally, there is a man around 30 years old. He is 1.85 meters tall, with wide shoulders, narrow waist, upturned buttocks, and long legs. He also has a modeling face with sword eyebrows and star-shaped eyes, but his expression is a bit cold. I am Gu Xiaoyan. Xiao Xiao, don't mind. He's just like his name, a bit quiet, but still very reliable. Aunt Sue smiled. He is the driver of the company and also responsible for bodyguards, running errands, changing light bulbs, repairing water and electricity, and other miscellaneous tasks. Feel free to contact him if you have anything to do. Jian Xiao. Stare at the dog and stare at it. Is this kind of appearance and physique not an artist, but just a laborer? Finally, Jian Xiao's gaze fell on the disabled boss Lu Qiyu. There are only 5 people in the entire company, from the boss to the employees, each with good looks. Even middle-aged Aunt Sue is a timeless beauty. Can I ask a question? Jian Xiao couldn't resist speaking in the end. What's the problem? Lu Qiyu raised his eyebrows. You said that the company's employees are carefully selected by you. What are your criteria for selecting people? Are they attractive? Jian Xiao was curious. Upon hearing this, Lu Qiyu paused and smiled. Excellent appearance is just a coincidence. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. I chose them for the same reason as I chose you. They all have a grudge against Yi Shiner's family, too. Jian Xiao was shocked. Is there a grudge or a great grudge? When mentioning Yi Shiner, Aunt Sue's smile remained unchanged, but her gaze was like ice in the cold. So Xiao Xiao is also a fellow disciple. Fong Siyu's expression was even more meaningful. Jian Xiao carefully recalled the original work. She did not actually see the names of these people in the novel, just like the 3 characters Lu Qiyu, which were very unfamiliar. It's even more canon fodder than the original owner. Although the original owner died early, at least he has a name, a surname, and a plot. But the people who were not mentioned by name in these original books are most likely victims of Yi Shiner being pampered by various big shots. She finally understood. Lu Qiyu created the Avengers alliance under the guise of opening an entertainment company. What kind of revenge is this worth his exhausting calculation? But no matter what, her trust in Lu Qiyu has increased by 1 point compared to just now. After all, those who can put in effort to establish the Avengers alliance will not be at a disadvantage to her, at least before the common enemy is eliminated. Soon, Aunt Sue signed a contract with Jian Xiao. The conditions are as promised by Lu Qiyu before, without any traps. At this point, Jian Xiao experienced a series of unfortunate events such as passing away in a car accident, suddenly wearing a book, being kicked out of the house by the program team, and being in a miserable rain. Finally, in this unfamiliar world, there is a place to settle down. That night, Jian Xiao slept soundly and had a long and complex dream. In her dream, the plot of the novel she had read flashed before her like a fleeting light, with every scene so clear. This also made her deeply aware of, it is such a difficult and lengthy process to protect oneself from the protagonist group led by Yi Shiner. At least Lu Qiyu's Avengers Alliance has a heavy responsibility and a long way to go. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Putting Death to the End and Surviving Later. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Putting Death to the End and Surviving Later. Jian Xiao spent 3 days in the company. She made full use of this time and gradually became familiar with the world by searching for information and collecting information online. These 3 days, Lu Qiyu has disappeared without a trace. Everyone else in the company is there, but they are used to staying in their own territory and rarely gather together to communicate. 3 days later, Lu Qiyu returned with a document. He found Jian Xiao and handed over the documents. "Your new job. Is there a new job so soon?" Jian Xiao said while flipping through the pages. "This is a variety show proposal, name. Extreme Survival, guest. 5 people proposed organizer. Qinglong TV station shooting method. Full live streaming plus post-production editing film remuneration. 2 million per episode note. The filming venue is special and most areas are undeveloped, which poses a high risk. Participating guests need to sign a disclaimer with the program team, taking care of their own safety in life." Jian Xiao carefully read the entire plan without speaking. Upon seeing this, Lu Qiyu couldn't help but ask. "Is there any problem? Or are you dissatisfied with this job?" "Of course, since I have promised you absolute autonomy, I will keep my promise. If you don't want to participate, I won't force you. I will ask CU to find other resources for you." Upon hearing this, Jian Xiao suddenly smiled. She walked up to Lu Qiyu, propping her hands on the armrests of his wheelchair, and leaned down to look at him from a high position, her eyes clear. "I will participate in the variety show, you don't have to put in a lot of effort to test me." "Oh." Lu Qiyu looked up at the stunning face of the girl in front of her and chuckled lightly. "Did you misunderstand something? I didn't mean to test you." Jian Xiaoyang raised the planning book in her hand, word by word. "This variety show is highly dangerous and cannot guarantee life safety. For others, it may not be a good choice, but for me, it is the only choice. Mr. Lu, I can understand the current situation. I am plagued by black material and cursed all over the internet. Before I whitewash, no other program will want me. But on the survival variety show, fans will watch, they will worry about me getting into trouble and suffering. Black fans will also watch, they want to see how miserable my life is and how I die." Lu Qiyu raised his eyebrows without hesitation, and the smile on his face became even more genuine. Jian Xiao paused for a moment and then said. "Also, I am currently facing a life-threatening situation. To avoid being caught and offered blood to Yi Shiner, I have to keep myself in the public eye. The entire live broadcast is obviously a good way. Being caught will definitely lead to death, going on a variety show may just lead to death. It's clear how to choose. This is called, putting oneself to death and being reborn. Lu Qiyu couldn't help but laugh out loud. "Jian Xiao, you're very smart, I'm really lucky." Fortunately, after experiencing the painful struggles of his past life, he saw new hope. This girl, who is completely different from the description in the information, entered his life with a dominant posture and a strange way. A hint of anger flashed in Jian Zhao's eyes. This man has already considered everything when arranging a variety show. But she was worried that she wouldn't be able to handle it clearly and see through it, so she deliberately mentioned absolute autonomy and asked her to choose whether or not to participate. If she doesn't understand her situation and refuses this variety show, then he might have to change his attitude. Collaboration is nothing more than showcasing one's own value. Jian Xiao is well aware of the truth behind it, so she doesn't hide herself in front of Lu Qiyu. She has to tell him that she is a worthwhile collaborator to invest in. "There won't be another time," Lu Qiyu promised to Jian Xiao, "don't worry about going to the variety show. I will let Gu Xiaoyan follow you secretly and never let anything happen to you." Jian Xiao still bent down, while Lu Qiyu still looked up. That handsome and incomparable face, in front of Jian Xiao, who is known as the top face in the entertainment industry, is no less impressive. The two people's gaze collided in the air, as if there were invisible electric sparks and flints flashing. They saw something similar in each other's eyes. Calm, rational, determined, and composed. But it also exudes an unapproachable guard and alienation, as well as an undetectable secret hidden deep within. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Gathering of the Masterminds. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 9 Gathering of the Masterminds. The efficiency of Qinglong Terrace is not average high. In the afternoon, Fang Xiu signed a disclaimer agreement with the organizer on behalf of Jian Xiao, and in the evening, the program team began to promote and warm up on Weibo. Extreme Survival Program Team V. May is full of spring. In May, the sky is just right. Farewell to the chilly spring and the scorching summer, it's a great time to travel. The program team will join hands with 5 guests, at Qin Zhan V, at Chaoyun V, at Zhou Siye V, at Liao Fanchen V, and at Jian Xiao V, to embark on a unique and wonderful journey on the 20th of this month. At that time, the program will be live streamed throughout, and each guest will have a separate live broadcast room. Interested viewers can click on the live broadcast room link below to make an appointment. Don't miss out on the excitement. As soon as Weibo is released, the whole network is boiling. The first person to be targeted was Jian Xiao, who had just been exposed to a wave of black material recently. How could there be Jian Xiao? Can this kind of rotten person still hang out in the circle? Has it not been banned yet? Vermilion Bird Terrace knows they want Jian Xiao to withdraw from the competition, but Qinglong Terrace insists on hiring this slut. This is not taking us seriously. Sisters, listen to me. We won't watch this program. Don't contribute to Jian Xiao's ratings. Does the production team of Extreme Survival not know about Jian Xiao's scandal? Are you going against the trend of boycotting the entire network? From now on, I will be black against King Longtai for life. Sisters upstairs, please don't be irritable. It's said that survival in limits is hard. Guests are conceited about life and death during recording. Don't you want to see how Jian Xiao, a cheap woman, died? Shit, that makes sense. I stayed for a while. With the debate between two voices, the online resistance against Jian Xiao has become less intense, and this is exactly what Lu Qiyu and Jian Xiao expected. At the same time, a new entry slowly emerged on Weibo's hot search. Hashtag a gathering of craftsmen. Hashtag such a prominent hot search location directly attracts people who were originally not interested in the program, but also attracts them. What? Good guy, I just called out to him. This program team is taking jujube pills. The program team of Survival really dares to invite and is not afraid of any live broadcast accidents. Who is the director? I respect you as a man. Haha, that's all for this lineup. I'll settle down in the live broadcast room. To educate the ignorant onlookers, why is Extreme Survival also known as a gathering of craftsmen? The netizen who left this message is called Severe Internet Addiction Girl. Like her nickname, she herself is a pioneer player who has long been online and active in the forefront of eating melons, and knows the history of these guests very well. Under her popularization of science, everyone saw through King Longtai's troublemaking heart. Firstly, Chao Yun, a 23-year-old internet celebrity who comes from a variety show background, often appears on variety shows on different TV stations. She is proficient in acting coquettishly, speaking T language, smiling at boys like flowers, and being picky with girls. Work is always lazy, and collective activities always lag behind. Secondly, Zhou Siye, a 24-year-old wealthy woman, is known for being picky, especially in terms of clothing, food, housing, and transportation. She is simply nitpicking. Moreover, she has a strong temper, low emotional intelligence, and speaks straightforwardly. Sometimes she speaks hurtful words without realizing it, and even considers herself to have a straightforward personality. Growing up being favored from a young age, she hopes that others will do things according to her wishes. Otherwise, she would lose her temper and make the atmosphere extremely awkward until others bow their heads and compromise. Once again, Liao Fanchen, a 27-year-old male actor, has excellent acting skills but cannot achieve great success. The reason is that he has a severe obsession with cleanliness and severe obsessive-compulsive disorder, unable to tolerate dirty things, and unable to tolerate the chaotic environment he is in. According to reliable sources, the main reason why he couldn't become popular was that the production team found him troublesome. Finally, Jian Xiao, a 21-year-old draft girl who withdrew halfway through the competition. It is said that there is nothing wrong with what one does and nothing wrong with what one wants, except for a face. Recently, it has also been exposed that he has had improper sexual relationships with multiple investors in the industry, resorting to any means in order to rise to power, causing chaos in his personal life, and even interfering in someone else's marriage. Is this a despicable person who sells her body for resources, forcing her to go to the extreme to survive? Isn't this purely funny? End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Program Launch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Program Launch. If we were to leave it to another program group, inviting one of them would already be a headache. Qinglong Terrace is ready, we have invited 4 at once. This is a real tiger. Are you not afraid that they will come together and overthrow the production team of Extreme Survival? Due to the issue of the lineup of program guests, many viewers and netizens who watch the show do not mind the big picture, and have joined the discussion, wanting to know what kind of character this program will ultimately become. The popularity has rapidly increased, and the program has become popular before airing, along with Jian Xiao's attention. It has to be said that King Longtai took a risky move, but it succeeded. Another hot search term that creates a strong contrast with gathering for excellence is #sorrow for Qin Zhan. When it comes to Qin Zhan, I have to say a few more words. In the eyes of netizens, he is the only normal person among the 5 members of Extreme Survival. A 35-year-old male actor, representing the new generation of iron-blooded tough guys in the entertainment industry. I have had military experience before. After retiring, I switched to the entertainment industry and made my debut in martial arts. Later, I ventured into military and national security-themed film and television dramas. Leng Yi's face, sharp eyes, and a body full of tendons and flesh from practicing martial arts. The image of a tough guy is deeply ingrained in people's hearts. The program team invited him because he had military experience, was familiar with various outdoor environments, and was able to handle various unexpected situations appropriately. At the same time, it is also to ensure that the entire survival team has a team leader. It will soon be May 20th. The variety show, Extreme Survival, has started recording amidst widespread anticipation. According to the regulations of the program team, Jian Xiao took a car to the agreed location. Before leaving, Lu Qiyu gave her a hiking bag. Inside are all the things that will be used for this survival meeting, please take them. This variety show is live streaming without a script, and its main gimmick is 100% authenticity. Once on camera, it's your battlefield, so be careful. Jian Xiao took the mountaineering bag and landed on Qiyu's back, revealing a bright smile. Mr. Lu, rest assured. In her previous life, she was able to climb to the top spot as a popular actress in the tumultuous entertainment industry, so naturally she was not an ignorant rascal. As long as one's life is still alive, the black material and verbal abuse online are just floating clouds. She will definitely win this comeback battle. Daidu Airport. The gathering place set by the program team, several guests arrived almost simultaneously. Everyone stood in front of the director in chronological order, with Qin Zhan as the leader, and Jian Xiao, the youngest, ranked last. The program director of Extreme Survival is named Zhao Liang. He is a middle-aged bald and chubby man with a watermelon belly and a Mediterranean head. Although he looks like a Maitreya Buddha and looks festive, those who often watch variety shows know that he is a cold-blooded and heartless heart. He loves recording guest challenge variety shows the most. He is particularly skilled at digging holes and solving difficult problems for guests. When he sees guests scratching their ears and faces, covered in mess, he laughs especially happily. This time is no exception. Extreme survival, as soon as you hear this name, you know it's Zhao Liang's specialty. He came to the guests with a small trumpet and greeted them with a smile. This time, the guests are all collaborating with me for the first time. But it's okay. Although we're not familiar yet, I believe in a few days, you'll be unforgettable to me for a lifetime. After all, every guest who has recorded a variety show with him is tormented to death. Jian Xiao. There is an ominous feeling. How do you think this bald and chubby guy doesn't look like a good person? Zhao Liang stood on a half-meter-high wooden stool, looking down at the crowd and speaking. Okay, I know the audience is here to watch celebrities and artists' extreme survival, not my chubby face, so without further ado, let's get to the point. Our first filming location was in a sea area in southern China. Please board the helicopter and proceed to your destination. End of this chapter.